Hello, I'm Sherwyn and thank you for watching this video. And I'm going to have a look at Doctor Who. I finished the classic era in my top tens rankings and finished with Sylvester McCoy. I haven't done one on the TV movie, but Rush, buy it. Paul McGann as the Doctor, he's great. Great story. I won't go any further because this is And Now the Ninth Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston, and the great genius reboot of Russell T Davies. And series, not season anymore. Mustn't call it season, it's series 1. And this is a series which is among the very best season, whatever you call it, of Doctor Who ever. It's absolutely immaculate. Okay, there's some things I don't like about it. I can't stand the Slitheen. I've never been a fan of the Slitheen. I mean, farting aliens, give me a break. But Rose is terrific, played by Billie Piper. The Ninth Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston, is great. He's a bit like Tom Baker's Doctor. He's sunny, but he's very vigorous. And he speaks in a northern accent and even uses somewhat northern English language to an extent. But as he says to Rose, lots of planets have an earth. And Rose, of course, is a typical London girl. She has a great backstory and family. And in fact, the whole season, more than one season of the New Who is blessed by this somewhat more than soap, a dramatic exposition of the life of this typical English girl from a block of flats in wherever it is in London. And when I first saw this season, I had my tongue hanging out like everyone else for the new Doctor Who reboot to start. And when I first saw this season, I rushed and bought Billie Piper's CD. And it's a great little pop CD. She has one of those bubbly voices. She was a friend of the ill-fated Amy Winehouse. There are photos of her with Amy when they were at acting school together. And of course, her career took an entirely different turn. Not only did she do bubbly pop, which Amy didn't do, she went much more deeper into music and rhythm and blues. And she met a tragic end, of course. Billie Piper went on to more and more glories, a much lighter, brighter soul. Doctor Who has been blessed with female companions from the very start. And I could do an entire video, but I won't. But I could do an entire video called, and I challenge anyone else to, Sex and Doctor Who. Because Sex and Doctor Who has had an extraordinary relationship right from 1963 to the present day. First of all, of course, you have the two Tardis travelling companions, Barbara Wright, played by Jackie Hill, and Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, played by Carol Ann Ford. And you couldn't get two much more different women to ogle on the screens for the dads, I think was the motto. And first of all, you've got Carol Ann Ford, who's a kind of nubile young person. She's in her 20s. I don't care what the age of the character was, but she was supposed to be like a 15-year-old girl, I think, but she's obviously not a 15-year-old girl. And on the other hand, you've got Jacqueline Hill, the sophisticated schoolmistress, And so you've got one character who's going to be great for a romp in the hay, and another one, cocktails and the hottest sex you could ever imagine. And of course, since then the female the female companions have all been quite alluring, especially Purry, played by Nicola Bryant, who has must have the most famous cleavage in the history of Doctor Who. And Billie Piper isn't only the girl that you want to. I think I might be going too far with this video, but she's a sort of, instead of the girl who would like to have an encounter, a naughty encounter with or something. She's the kind of girl you want to live with. As Rose is the kind of girl you want to live with for the rest of your life, and have her handing you children. So anyway, and of course Russell T Davies brings in the gay liberation tack, which he'd done so well with Queer as Folk, which he produced before, and it's not as prominent in Doctor Who, with it being a family show. It was meant to be a children's show in the first place, but it quickly became a family show. Well, you only have to see the first few episodes to understand that it became a family show very quickly. There's some very adult material. I don't mean in the sexual sense, but for example, Edge of Destruction, all the psychological drama, and but anyway, so got Billie Piper playing Rose. Got recognisable characters, typical, like a soap, but it's much more emotional, much more like high drama. Excuse me, and my usual cup of tea here. Apart from the Slovene, what don't I like? Nothing. I love everything about this season. Starts off great with the Autons coming back. Nice little allusion to the spearhead from space, John Pertwee's first story. The plastic mannequins are menacing the world again. I think the best story from this season, and I very much doubt whether anyone agrees with anyone will agree with this, but my favourite one is and I think it's the best one, is The Unquiet Dead. But I'm biased because I am a literary scholar. I have studied English literature at university, and to see Charles Dickens so well represented on the screen is a wonderful thing for me. Charles Dickens is still alive. Of course, a lot of young people, even young literary scholars, we had me as a BOF about this, but excuse me again, I must have another drink. But I think Dickens will always be alive. His books will always be read. And his role is really great in this story, The Unquiet Dead. The Dalek stories are great as well. Dalek especially, but also the Dalek stories surrounding the space station, in which it's revealed that must be millions of Daleks. It started with one Dalek surviving the Time War. It's revealed that the Daleks, through this one Dalek, survived the Time War, escaped in a crippled spaceship or something, and hid somewhere in outer space and built an army of Daleks. And I think there are about 500,000 Daleks in this one. And the great CGI special effects. In fact, the great cinematic improvement using modern technology and CGI is a breath of fresh air in Doctor Who in this season. and compared with the classic series and even the TV movie for that matter. So the of course the Dalek threat is now re-established as always. This idea can probably be a bit tedious to some Whovians, perhaps, in that it's a bit too convenient to keep resurrecting the Daleks. And it's true that the new series, in terms of adversaries of the Doctor, has rather relied on resurrecting old monsters and old enemies. But there are some good new ones. The best ones, in my opinion, are the Weeping Angels. But that's in a future season, not in season 1. And it's a shame that Christopher Eccleston only did 1 season of Doctor Who. The next one, David Tennant. I keep having to count them up. The 10th Doctor is the next one, David Tennant. He got a lot more airtime. I don't know whether it was Christopher Eccleston who decided to leave or maybe his contract was up. I don't know. There's a great regeneration scene towards the end, before the special Invasion of London story, which is David Tennant's first story. The Doctor has to absorb the energy in the time vortex because it's kind of possessed Rose, not Billie Piper, it's possessed Rose, and she's used it to destroy these Daleks that have invaded the space station. And she ostensibly destroys the Emperor, but I think he's going to turn up again later in one of the future series. And if I remember correctly, he did. Am I spoiling? Oh, never mind. The odd spoiler won't do any harm. Right. Anyway, there's a great regeneration scene because the Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, absorbs the energy from the time vortex that Billie Piper has unwittingly unleashed into herself, and it in order to save her life, and he of course then starts to deteriorate and has to regenerate into David Tennant, who was one of the most popular Doctors, if not the most popular Doctor. But I think it was probably pipped to the post by Tom Baker on the whole. Right, so that is my short review of Series 1 of The New Who concerning the 9th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, played by Christopher Eccleston, and the wonderful Billie Piper, produced by the genius of Russell T Davies and his team, with great colour and camera and writing and drama. The perfect Doctor Who season/series, a bleak stroke season, a bleak stroke series, but from now on they're called series, so as to differentiate. And in the next video, I hope to be, or in a future video, I hope to be looking at David Tennant's time as the Doctor. What else can I say about that? I don't know. So I hope this video has been enjoyable to the people who watch it. These videos, well, my videos tend to get varied responses in terms of viewing, and I don't think I've had very many comments or anything. I don't know why. I've seen some reviewers and rankers videos, and they've had thousands of thousands of viewings, but they've also had quite a lot of comments and struck up a dialogue. But so I hope this has been helpful and recommended the new Who. I have the entire catalogue on. I have some DVDs as well, but I have entire catalogue on BBC iPlayer, which I've subscribed to on Sky Q. I've watched all the lot. I watched them all at the time. I am a big fan of Jodie Foster, yes, unlike some people. So I'll be having a scrutinizing session on David Tennant's stories, and because if they're better on reviewing them than this season with Christopher Eccleston, then they could be the best ever series of Christopher Eccleston. They could be the best ever Doctor Who's, but I doubt that that's the case. So the new Who was off to a great crash and a bang, like the Wagnerian entry of the gods into Valhalla. And with that, this is Sherwyn Green saying bye-bye, good night, God bless. Carry on watching, ye Whovians, and sci-fi fans, and TV fans, and anybody else who's curious, and anybody else with an open mind. And I'm now going to switch off. Bye-bye.